Morning traders, and this is your Aussie South African top 40 day trade setup for today. So yesterday we had some negative news come through that our projected growth was going to be restricted to 1% this year because of the electricity problems that we have in the country. And obviously the bears stepped in and drove this down. Now the thing is worrying me that we close on our low. This is a proper engulfing bar, and it is also pretty much closed on the bottom of this range. Now, what's happening now is it's not looking like a flag anymore. It's starting to look like a flat bottom triangle. Okay, so a break below this level here, but we're going to need a daily close below it because of how many times the daily has bounced off it right now. We're going to need a daily close below that, but I think you can start expecting some of these gaps to close if we do get that. I think it's going to be a fairly rapid and quick move to the downside. Okay, so yeah, the electricity situation in South Africa is just getting worse and worse and worse, and I think the market's going to catch up with that very shortly. Okay, so if we just get through some of the higher low time frames, you can see we've got a pretty clearly defined downtrend at the moment, although tend to gap up and then rapidly the sellers step in and drive it back to the downside. But I think on the 3-hour here you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see how many times we are touching this area, and you could also argue that we are running in a flag still. Okay, I'm pretty sure there are people that are placing that bet, but I think for me, until we break through this structure, I'm not entering into this instrument again. I did try buy off the bottom here. That didn't really materialize. Not a massive loss, but I kept it really tight stop loss, and we got stopped out of that. So I think for me at the moment, this is starting to look like we've got a trend change. So there's quite a strong move to the upside, and trend changes are always a volatile affair. You can see how volatile it is. So I think that is what's playing out at the moment. So what we're looking for is sort of you're looking for sort of a 3-4 hour close below this level, below the lowest point. It will be this one here. Okay, so if we can get a 3 or 4 hour close below that, that should give us some indication what's going to happen. And I think what will happen is you'll have, if it does break out, it'll rally down, close this gap, bounce off the 200 EMA, come back to test the breakout, and then continue to the downside. Okay, let's just quickly look at the 1 hour. But I mean, yeah, if you look at the oscillators telling us that you should be looking to buy here, and inside bar, there is a buying signal here off a 200 EMA, off a level. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure that we want to even do that. I'm not sure we want to do the shorts either. Just make that clear. So right now, the rand dollar 14.23, so that hasn't changed much. 10 cents is up at the moment. Is that? I just need to refresh this because 10 cents is up 1.7% right now. Yeah, 10 cents up 1.7% at the moment. Futures markets are up. The US markets finished up. Dow was up 0.7% yesterday. S&P was up. S&P was up 0.67%, and the Nasdaq was also up 0.87%. So all of that put together, we should see a gap up this morning. But I'm very reluctant to chase a long or even chase a short right now until we break through the structure to the upside or the downside. I think that's kind of my advice at the moment. I'm staying far away from this at the moment. It's just way too volatile and way too indecisive as to what direction it's going in. Okay, we do have the jobs number coming through from the US today, so that could add fuel to the fire. This little grouping of the oscillators here on the hour is making me lean towards a bounce to the upside. But I think any bounce to the upside, until we get a new high, it's short from the top. You just keep shorting from the top until we get a new high. That's probably the only trade that I can see here at the moment. Okay, looking at, this is a 4-hour chart. Let's just get this down to 12. You can see a proper gap up and then a big move down and keep making lower lows. Okay, we don't really have a double bottom at the moment. You could argue that this is going to be a double bottom, but I think then what you want to do is you're looking for a break above 513.95. You want that to hold, and then you're looking for a move back to the upside. Whether it's going to be as strong as this one, I'm in two minds. Personally, I think what you need to be doing is probably look at other instruments right now. But if we do get a break above a previous high, that would be the indication to get back in on the longs. Until then, any rally, decent rally, I think is worthwhile selling into and keeping a pretty tight stop on it. Okay, so that's kind of my 2 cents today. Proceed with lots of caution on this thing. But I think there's more value to be had on the Dax at the moment, and by the looks of things on the Dow as well. Okay, so hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you later. Cheers for now.